Hi guys, this is Vixxstar and today I will be showing you how to make my super cute short little minion charm or bag tag, whatever you'd like to use him for. I've already shown you how to make the tall skinny one. So the link for this guy can be found in the description bar below. So I'm going to show you how to make the short stumpy one-eyed minion. Using the same technique as in my mini mural making tutorials. So yeah, for this design you will be needing 2 white bands, 8 grey, 21 black, 26 blue and 30 yellow. These are all approximates, but pretty sure they're close to exactly the amount that you would need. Maybe 1 or 2 off in the yellows, but otherwise you should be right. Then you will also be needing the cross-running bands. So I'm going to use clear and probably need about a dozen of those. You can use blue and yellow and just blend them in, but as you can see, like, you can't really see them running down the side, so it doesn't really matter. If you need to, you can use black. I don't think it'd be a big issue. So yeah, all you will be needing is your loom with your 2 rows of pin bars, probably a hook to hold your arms and legs initially, and a hook to work with. So grab your supplies and let's get to it. I've got my supplies and I'm just going to show you a rough shot of the design that I've put together for these two, just the graph picture. Hopefully it will be available very soon on Bracelet Book, and I will also share it on my Facebook page. And we are going to start by making the arms and the legs. I'm just going to do that on my hook. So starting with the arms, so we're going to start by grabbing 2 singular black bands, wrapping them around your hook 3 times, like so. Then grab a singular yellow, double it in your fingers, and feed the black onto that yellow. Then reclaim it, grab another singular yellow, double it in your fingers, pull it through and reclaim. So the arms, we've got the glove, which I've just done black, and then 1, 2, 3. So one last singular yellow, pull it through, reclaim, and there is your arm with the glove. So pop that aside onto your holding hook. Make another one. So 2 singular black, round the hook 3 times, singular yellow doubled, feed it through, another singular yellow doubled, feed it through, and one last singular yellow. So there's the 2 arms. Now we're going to do the legs and the boots. So 2 singular black, we're going to double it onto our hook, and then we're going to grab them and double them again. One of my blacks just broke, so I'm going to try that again. 2 singular blacks, doubled onto the hook, and then doubled again. So it's gone around 4 times. 2 more singular blacks, doubled in your fingers, and then feed them onto there and reclaim. Straighten them up a little bit. And then 1 singular black, doubled in your fingers and fed through. Reclaim, and for the legs we're going to use 1, 2 blue. So singular blue, doubled, fed through and reclaim, singular blue, doubled, thread through and reclaim. Pop that on your holding hook. That is one leg. So we're going to make another one, 2 singular blacks. So we're going to put them around the hook 4 times, so you can double and double again, or you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 singular blacks, doubled in your fingers. Feed those first ones on. Reclaim. 1 singular black, doubled. Then we want a singular blue, doubled. Thread through, and one last singular blue, doubled, and fed through. So there is our second leg. I'm going to pop that onto the holding hook. We can get started with making our minion. Okay, so that is roughly what your arms and legs should look like. Put them aside for after. So using your loom with your arrow pointing to your right, we're going to start laying just a chain in blue bands. So single blue band, doubled, just going from one peg to the next, just using about 5 pegs in the middle. So single band, doubled, band, peg to the next, single band, doubled, single band, doubled. So we've got 4 bands across 5 pegs. Now we're going to put the legs on. So grabbing one of your legs, popping it on the second peg from the left, and we're just going to hang it down through the middle of those 2 peg bars. And then your next leg, we are going to leave 1 peg and go on the second peg from the right. Place it on there and just have the legs hanging down through the middle. Now I just want you to grab another single blue, double it in your fingers, and then double it again onto that last peg like a cat band. So doubled in my fingers and then doubled onto the peg. You can go around 3, but I like to go around 4. It keeps the design pretty even. Now we are going to just loom underneath that cat band, grab that bottom band there and loom it up onto itself. Then the next one, we're going to have to reach behind those legs and grab the bottom bands, loom it up onto itself. There is a bit of tension, so be careful, just wiggle them around, don't force it. Next one, we have to go behind that leg to grab the bottom band, wiggle it up through, and just leave it there like so. So that's our bottom row, which is the bottom there with the legs attached. Now I want you to push all of your bands down. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pegs. Grabbing a single blue band, double it in your fingers, and then go from the first peg to its opposing peg. Same on the next. Single band, doubled, single band, doubled onto the third. So we're just going to do 5 blue bands from each of those pegs to their opposing pegs. Single band, doubled. Then grab your hook, and we want to move that whole chain that's on the back, that's our bottom row, up and over into the middle of the bands that we just put down. So grabbing from the outside, bringing up and over, making sure you don't lose the band off the top, moving on to the next, grabbing from the outside, up and over. Now we do also need to grab the legs on that second one, so don't forget about that. Making sure you've got all of those bands from the bottom row, bringing them up and over. Next one, And then the one after that has got the legs again, so if you can grab them all at once, do it that way. Otherwise just go a couple of bands at a time if you need to. Just make sure you don't lose or miss any of those bands. So down to the end, that's what you should have, your legs hanging through the bottom there, and that chain straight down the middle. So push your bands down, should just have the singles doubled of the blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to lay another row exactly the same. So single doubled. Oh, sorry, but firstly, what I want you to do is grab your cross-lying bands. So this is where we start laying one band. I'm going to use clear, and we're going to lay one band from that first peg to the last peg on the bottom row there. Now we're going to grab our single doubled with our blue, and we're going to lay that row out. Single doubled, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down. And my last single doubled. So that's what you should have. Your row on the bottom, your crossband there, and then your row that you just lay out on the top. I want you to grab that crossband, bring it up and over into the middle, and then we're going to work that bottom row from the outside up and over the top into the middle. Go straight down one side, just grabbing those bottom bands, and then we'll go straight up the other side doing the exact same thing, looming that bottom row up over the top. Okay, so push your bands down. We have done that first row, which is a chain, the second row and the third. Now we've got to start with the arms. So we're going to lay our crossband again, straight across those 5 pegs. Then I'm going to start with a yellow single, and I'm going to put another yellow single on the opposite side. Then I'm going to go a blue next to the yellows, so another blue next to the other yellow, and in the middle I'm going to do a black. So that's that little black spot in the middle there on his overalls. Okay, so you should have yellow, blue, black, blue, yellow, your bottom row and your crossband. We're going to grab that crossband, bring it up and over the middle of the row we just lay out, and then loom that bottom row of just the blue up and over and into the middle, straight down one side and back up the other. Right, so pushing all your bands down onto the next row, which we are going to attach the arms. So what I want you to do is just grab your arms on that first peg with the yellow, attach one, on that last peg, bottom peg with the yellow, attach the other. Okay, so I've attached my arms just like so. Now we're going to lay our crossband down. So single band straight across those 5 pegs, and now we're going to do our next row, which will be starting with the single yellow doubled. There's going to be a single yellow on the opposite side too, so I might as well just do that now. Single yellow doubled, and then 3 blues through the middle. So single blue, another blue, and the last one. So that's what it should look like. You've got your bottom row, then you've got your arms on the outside, that crossband, and that row we just lay out. So we're going to do as we have been, starting with the crossband, bring the crossband up and over into the middle. Then I want you to grab the arms. So I've found the easiest way to do this is just by using your fingers. Just pull it out and shimmy it up and over into the middle there. Same on the other side. pull it out, just shimmy it up and over into the middle, and now we can loom our bottom row up and over the top, just like we have been. On the outside, that bottom row up and over. And on the other side. Great, so push all of your bands down and moving on to our next row. So grabbing a cross band and popping that down across your 5 pegs onto our next row, which will be singular blue, and then 3 yellows, and then another singular blue. So I'll pop the other blue on the other side, and then 3 yellow in the middle. So we've just done the top of the overalls. Now we're going to loom up that cross band up into the middle, and then go for the bottom row, up and over the top, and into the middle, straight down one side, back up the other, push all your bands down. The next row is going to have the mouth, so putting down your cross band across those 5 pegs, starting with, sorry guys, single yellow, single yellow. Then for the mouth in the middle, I'm going to use 2 single blacks, just because I want it to be a bit more prominent, and I'm going to double them and pop them in the middle, single yellow doubled, and then single yellow. So that's that line done. Going to grab that cross running band, loom it up over into the center, and then going for the bottom row, up and over the top, straight down one side, and then back up the other. Push all your bands down. Your minion should be starting to come through the bottom a bit more now. Don't force it, but you can just give a little bit of a tug just to try and relieve some of the tension there. Next line, popping down our cross running band. It's just going to be plain yellow, so single yellow doubled, single yellow doubled, single yellow doubled, and single yellow doubled, and lucky last. So straight row, just yellow, loom over your cross running band, then making that bottom row up over the top on both sides. Sorry, I have a gremlin in my craft room at the moment. So that's that row done. This is what you should have so far. Your minion's legs hanging, you can see the arms in there. Push all your bands down. The next row is the bottom of the goggle, so laying down your cross running band across those 5 pegs, starting with single yellow, then we're going to do 3 grey, so grey, grey single double, grey single doubled, and the last one is going to be another yellow, so yellow single doubled. Once again, looming up that cross running band, and then going for that bottom row and bringing it up and over. Down the other side. So then pushing down all your bands, laying down your cross running band across those 5 pegs, Going to go a black for the strap of the goggle, then silver, then it will be white. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my 2 white here, 2 white, singles doubled in my fingers. Now you don't have to use 2 whites doubled, you can use 1 white doubled, you can use 2 whites just by itself. I just like to do it this way because I want it to be a little bit more obvious that there's the white in there, because this guy is fairly small and you can't get a lot of detail. That's why I've done that. So then another silver, or grey should I say, and then another black for the other side of the strap of the goggle. So that's what you should have: black, grey, white, grey, black. And we're going to loom up that cross running band, and then once again go for that bottom row, straight up and over and into the centre, and on the opposite side. Making sure you're just grabbing the 2, that single doubled band on the bottom. So push all your bands down. Now for that eyeball we want to put the pupils, the black. So what I like to do is get 1 single black, go around my hook once, grab it and go around twice. So you've got that single band wrapped around your hook 4 times. Grab one side of the white, so all of those white bands off the peg, and we are going to feed the black onto that white. So holding it down with your hand, got those white bands there, I'm just going to feed the black ones on, and then replace that white band back onto its peg. Or for me it's 4 white bands because it's 2 singles doubled. So what I've done is got that black capped band in there. We're going to do the same thing to the opposite side, so I'll show you a bit closer this time. Grabbing a single black band, going around my hook 4 times, so double and then double again. The opposite side, I will be grabbing that white band off its peg, feeding the black, so pinching it and pulling it up and over, and then I'm going to replace that back onto its peg. So you may need to pull it down and tuck it in to fit the black in there, and then get your whites back onto the peg that you grabbed them off. That's the fiddly bit for now. So moving on to our next row, there's your 2 eyeballs in there. You should just have that row that we lay down. The next one, so putting down your cross running band, then it's going to be a single yellow. We're going to have 3 grey again for the top of the goggles. So 1 grey, 2 greys, and 3, and then on the end there we will have that single yellow doubled. So that's what it should look like. I'm going to grab that cross running band and bring it up and over into the centre. Then we're going to grab that bottom row, loom it up and over the top. Now remember, once you get to the middle one, which is the white, maybe quite thicker, just going to do it as normal, straight up and over and into the centre. So straight down one side and then back up the other. Just that bottom row. Okay, so you've just got that last row that we laid down, top of the goggles. Push all your bands down, pull it through the bottom a bit too, so we can see there's our minion coming through. There's his little mouth in there and the eyes have been done, but you can't quite see it yet. Last row, well not last row, but one of the last rows, so we don't need any more cross running bands. We're just going to do plain yellow, so single doubled yellow for 5. yellow, single doubled, and the last one. So we don't have any cross running band, we're just going to loom that bottom row straight up and over and into the middle of those yellows that we just lay out. Like so. Whole bottom row straight up and over. My young fella goes running past. Okay, so now we're just about ready to start finishing off the top of the Minion's head. Now we've got our row of yellow. We're basically up to closing it off. What I want you to do is the first band, so the first pegs, and the last band and the last pegs, we're going to be moving that over to the pegs next to it. So what I want you to do is start with, say, the one on your left. Grab that band off the top and we're going to flip it over. So pull it off with your finger and move it over to that peg next to it. Same thing with the one on the bottom. Grabbing it from the outside, we're going to flip it over and place it on the peg next to it, like so. So the opposite end, we're going to do the same thing. Grabbing it from the outside, we're going to flip it over onto its peg next to it. Same thing on the bottom, grabbing it, flipping it over, and then placing it on that other peg. Like so. So we've got two outside pegs, I've got two, and the one in the middle has one, so we're going to place one single band doubled in the center peg. Then we're going to loom our bottom row up, straight up over the top, into the middle, down one side and down the other, making sure you're just grabbing the bands on the bottom row. So mine are just a little bit mucked up there. And there we go. So pushing all of your bands down. Sorry about that, guys. Now I want you to do the same thing again, but opposites. So the top one on the left is going to go to the center, and the bottom one on the right is going to go to the center. Okay, so we're grabbing it off and we're flipping it as we go, and we're placing it in the middle. Bottom one, taking it off, flipping it, so it looks like you've got two lines, like so. That middle peg, we're going to take the bottom one over the top, bottom one over the top. Then we're going to do the same thing but opposite, so the bottom left is going to go to that middle peg, and the top right is going to go to the middle peg. So grabbing it off and flipping it over onto that peg, and the one on the opposite side, grabbing it off, flipping it over onto that peg. Then we will loom the bottom over the top once again. Okay, 1 and 2. So just to make it easier, we're going to move the top band onto the bottom peg, so we've got them both together. That's what you should have there, your minion coming through the bottom and just those two bands on that peg. I'm going to grab a two single black bands just to make it more secure, and I'm going to pop that on one of the pegs next to it, place my hook down between those bands, grab the black band, pull it through and slip knot it. So just the black bands. Back up onto itself, turning it into a slip knot. Tighten it up and pull it off. You can grab your minion out now. give him a stretch, pull him nice and long to get all those cross running bands in the centre all comfortable. Fix up his eyeball, so spin it around till you've got a nice little chunk of black band on both sides. There you go. So as you can see, he looks the same front and back. So if you decide to hang him off something like a bag tag, he looks great from both angles. And there is your super cute, short, stumpy, one-eyed minion. I think he's absolutely adorable. I hope you like him. Maybe you could make the pair and share them to me on Instagram. I would absolutely love to see all your minions. So please hashtag them Vixxstar so I don't miss any. And yeah, I hope you liked this tutorial. These guys are made completely out of cat bands, so you do need to just give them a little bit of a stretch and a fiddle and they will become more comfortable in their shape. But yeah, I think they're absolutely adorable, so I hope you like them too. Please give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and loom on. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye.